this takes the high school in trouble theme in terms of redemption, reaching students, and throws it out the fucking window.
Yeah.
And then goes after it into the parking lot, kicks it a few times in the stomach, dumps gasoline on it, and sets that fucker on fire. This makes no bones about it. This is an unabashed action movie that happens to take place in a high school. Anyone looking at this going, this is one of those, a teacher can really mean a lot in the life of a young. No, the fuck, no, it isn't. This is an action movie that is dressed up for Halloween, like a Hollywood, like a high school in trouble movie. Jesus Christ. I don't think I saw this when it first came out. Like I might have seen this like bits and pieces of it in passing on HBO, but I'm not as familiar with Tom Berenger stuff. And I would only become more familiar with Ernie Hudson later in his career, after being on Oz and other places. But like at the time, again, this is what, 1989. This thing comes out.
No, this is 1996, man.
Not yet, 96. So 96, I'm halfway through college. Like I said, I don't remember when Oz started up on HBO, but
97.
97. Okay. So yeah, at that point, he was still the black guy from Ghostbusters to me. Like he did not resonate. So I don't think I paid any attention to this movie, and I think in 1996, I'm very much in my film snob era.
Sure.
And I'm not watching movies like The Substitute. This seemed like trash to me. Now, as an almost 50-year-old who will talk about anything with anybody so long as they have something to talk about on a podcast, I'm more than happy to talk about trash. As a matter of fact, this will be the second time I've referenced it this week. I reviewed the Trash trilogy. I'll talk about anything. But yeah, The Substitute is just... If you needed a poster child for for guys who like movies, this is it. This is just ridiculous. My favorite thing about this movie is the female lead, who I'm going to refer to as not-Demi Moore. I looked at her and I'm like, "Are you Demi Moore's stunt double?" Like the casting call was for Demi Moore, or they tried to get Demi Moore and she wasn't available, or she was like, "No, I was in a movie with Patrick Swayze. Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, she's like, "I'm above this. I'm G.I. Jane now."
Yeah. I don't know if she had done the Tom Cruise and Kevin Bacon movie yet. Oh, fuck. What's that? You Can't Handle the Truth.
A Few Good Men. Yeah, this is well after that.
Okay. So, yeah, by this point, she said A Few Good Men. She's not doing The fucking Substitute. But
she's got a better agent than Louis Gossett Jr., okay?
Yes. And she has... Was this before or after Striptease?
This is the same time.
Same time? Yeah. They probably wanted her for this, and she's like, "I'm doing Striptease. No, thank you. I have top billing. I don't need to do your trash." And now she's an Oscar-nominated actress who should have won the Oscar, but that's besides the point. So I feel like they like there's a casting director or somebody producing this movie going, "Well, I want Demi Moore." Well, she said no. What do you want us to do? Drag her to the set and make her do it? Well, find me somebody that looks like Demi Moore then, and that's the actress they found. I have no other reason for this actress to be in this movie.
Well, while you're busy picking on the actress who played Jane Hetzko, I think my favorite part of this movie is it's the weird thing to say for me, especially, but my favorite part is the way he initially gets respect is not through like shows of physical force, like where he does you had to have eyes in the back of your head in Vietnam. Yeah. You had to be resourceful, which is cool, and that's awesome. But he really kind of gets respect when he starts educating them on the gang history of Miami.
Yeah.
And how he was involved in it as a kid.
Yeah, he kind of made it relate to him. So we'll get to it. Let's double back to that. So the premise of this is basically Tom Berenger is a merc. He gets offered a job, but it's drugs, and he doesn't want to deal with it. And then his girlfriend is mugged, who was a teacher at this ne'er-do-well school, is mugged in the street. So she has him sub for her, and he is...
Unknowingly. She does not know he's subbing.
And so he starts in the school, and he meets Ernie Hudson, who is the principal. And, Ernie Hudson is not going to tolerate nonsense, but he's perfectly affable at the start of this. Just go in there, don't make too much of a fuss, don't ruffle too many feathers. And Tom Berenger is not stupid, and he very quickly sees what's going on with the school and the principal. And so he tells his merc partners, like, hey, let's investigate here. I think this is a front for a drug cartel. And if it is, and we disrupt it, this, we can make money off of this. There's some resistance to it at first, but eventually that's what they do. And then the rest of the movie is them just running afoul of each other. And there's the final conflict is, at this point, the principal, the cat's out of the bag at this point. He is well in on this. He's basically a drug lieutenant. And everyone's trying to kill Tom Berenger, and Tom Berenger's trying to kill everybody else. And so he does, and he wins. And the school is cured of its KOD drug problem. There are no more drugs in Miami. Miami is saved from the drug cartels. Sure it is. You complained, you said to me, it's like, oh, I hope the air conditioner doesn't bother you. Would you please move to a safer neighborhood? Every time we record, there's fucking sirens.
This is not an unsafe neighborhood, first of all.
Okay.
It's not. That's a fire hydrant. That's not a cop. Or not a fire engine, I should say.
Stop. Tell your neighbors to stop setting the neighborhood on fire.
I live at the intersection of two major streets. They're going to pass through there. It's a throughway.
I'm going to send you $10 and some fortune cookies. Move to the suburbs.
Fuck that.
All right. I'll quit picking on you now. All right. So that's the movie. I'll go to you first. Tell me all the things you love about this movie.
Okay. Now, take a movie like The Principal, like we just discussed, and imagine, how can we make this better? You know what we're going to do? Instead of an everyday regular guy stepping in and running the school, we're going to have a friggin' Green Beret who's working as a mercenary with a whole team of mercenaries. And they're going to take on a street gang, and the street gang is with a drug cartel.
Yeah, I just want to be at that pitch meeting. Like, I want to do another one of these high school and trouble movies, kind of like The Principal. Okay, what's your hook this time? We're not even going to bother with the premise that this is about redeeming this school and saving children. It's just a straight-up action movie. And you're going to get someone that's Jim Belushi. Like, no, we're going to get Tom Berenger. Why? Is David Hasselhoff not available? Keep going.
Yeah, well, because Tom Berenger was a proven leading man in a lot of films at this point in time.
Was he really?
He really was.
Okay, I believe you.
Major League, Sniper,
Oh, that's right. He's in Major League. Duh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Berenger was a legit leading guy and believable in playing a grizzled ex-vet, who's, doing some undercover black ops there.
Mm-hmm.
And his team is great. It's got Luis Guzman, William Forsythe, who he's constantly arguing with, which I like, who tortures him, and shut the fuck up. Anyway,
tell that bitch to call her later.
If only. So he has this whole merc team, and it's literally everything about The Principal. If you ramp it up double, and you just go fully fucking bananas into this genre. Right. This was the point where it got to self-parody. We're doing The Punisher, as he was in the 90s after it stopped being a social commentary book and became just straight up guns, bombs, explosions, kill out a whole cartel, move on to the next one. And much like it, this series would get a sequel and another sequel and another sequel.
Well, this is more in common with Rambo than it does with with Lean on Me.
Yeah, this is Rambo 2 as opposed to First Blood.
Yeah. Well, we Robert and I were, when we did Warfare with Dorian, we were talking about how there's an evolution of the war movie from this is a meditation on the horrors of war. This is an editorial comment on how bad Vietnam is, to the Vietnam soldier as Superman. In Rambo. And like, if you look at the kind of stuff that we grew up with, I've said this a million times before, the Rambos, the Commandos, the Missing in Actions, these are the Supermen of that era. This is an extension more of that than it is the traditional high school in trouble movie.
Yes.
I loved his speech about being the Apache war chief.
I am the merciless fucking god of this.
You couldn't say that now, and I don't mean like oh, it's the children's tender ears. First of all, outside of maybe a kindergarten class, kids today would laugh at you if you walked in there like, I am the almighty, Apache war god.
Well, and the reason they're drawing on that is because they're in Seminole territory more than anything else.
which I get. But again, this is fantasy, and so a booming voice and and a well delivered monologue, and the kids are well behaved at that point. Again, at one point he throws a garbage can, and the kids kind of go, and I'm like, and again, realistically, they throw the garbage can back at him. Or they'd be all on their phones calling their parents, going, "Mom, the teacher threw a garbage can," and you'd be taken out back and shot.